right, Mexican Roadshow supporters. Well, there's a lot of things involving Disney I could have made a video on, and this may not be the last one today, frankly. But this certainly does seem to be the most repugnant one at this time. And man, it is gross. And, there's been a lot of talk over the years of Disney possibly being involved in some grooming kind of activities, employees doing some really heinous things over the years. Never mind the political agendas and all that mess that they're into on all of their IPs. Now they're supposed to be, of course, pulling out of the DEI business. Well, like I said, there may be a video coming on that, but I saw this and wanted to make it first. Disney failed to protect guests from employees taking, you got it, upskirt photos, a lawsuit alleges. Yikes, this was by way of Fox News. A lawsuit has been filed against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts in the latest move regarding a 2023 investigation into a Florida theme park employee accused of taking inappropriate photos of female guests. Yikes. The lawsuit filed by a family member of an alleged victim argues that Disney did not take sufficient action to protect visitors at its Orlando theme parks from former employee Jorge Diaz Vega Jr. Diaz Vega was arrested in 2023 for allegedly filming up the skirts of over 600 female guests while working in the Star Wars section of Disney's Hollywood Studios. So was that, I guess, Galaxy's Edge? Wow. An 18-page lawsuit filed by the grandparent of an alleged 14-year-old victim. God, this is sick. Claims that Disney did not adequately supervise Diaz Vega after he was reported to a supervisor for photographing and recording a coworker without consent. Jesus, he was doing it to coworkers too? Is that what we're talking about here? And Disney, who's running this place? I mean, honestly, a lot of suspicions of sickos there. You would have thought, hey, we don't want nothing to do with that. Let's get this guy out of here. Nope. Quote, upon information and belief, Disney employees, agents, servants, and or apparent agents knew or should have known that Diaz Vega had committed similar acts of video voyeurism of guests and co-workers over 6 years. He was employed by Disney as evidenced by more than 600 images and videos of unwitting victims on his phone, the lawsuit states. Jesus. The plaintiff alleges that Disney's choice to continue Diaz Vega's employment following the incident with his coworker, quote, posed a danger to the public and to the plaintiff's minor grandchild. They absolutely got a lawsuit here. They deem this guy safe to be, it's a theme park supposed to be for children. Wow. In 2023, a deputy with Orange County Sheriff's Office responded to a call from Disney's Hollywood Studios after a woman alerted security that a man dressed up in a Star Wars uniform had taken a photo up her granddaughter's dress. Wearing a Star Wars uniform. Holy hell. But authorities were unable to identify the man. The next day, officers returned to the theme park after Diaz Vega was spotted by a security guard taking upskirt videos of a 19-year-old female guest, according to court documents. Diaz Vega was arrested on video voyeurism charges after admitting to recording the videos as a, quote, guilty pleasure, telling police it's hard to find them online. No kidding. No shit. You don't say. The affidavit said he has pleaded not guilty in both cases. Good God. The plaintiff is asking the court for a jury trial and over $50,000 in damages. Diaz Vega is facing additional video voyeurism charges in a third case after he was arrested in Kimmissee Publix while out on a bond for the incident at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So that a Publix is a grocery store, I think, down there. In June 2023, a shopper. Wow, this guy's a heavyweight champion of sickos. A shopper allegedly spotted Diaz Vega taking a photo up his wife's dress. That dude would have been cooked right there. Shortly before witnessing him doing it to another woman, Fox 35 Orlando reported. This guy's addicted. He's got some problems. Real bad problems. According to court documents, when confronted, Diaz Vega said, quote, "I've been fired for this before. Please don't call the police. I promise I will delete the pictures." What the hell? Representatives for Disney and the lawyers for both Diaz Vega and the plaintiff did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request. Wondering what the comments look like on this. No comments yet. Wow. So this story just went up, though. I did see right before I hit record on it. I actually had found this story on a different source, and then I saw this new one came out, decided to roll with it. Wow. That's freaking unbelievable. And what's wild is Disney not fully aware of public perception of Disney and some of its employees right now? Because that's astonishing to me. Now, we know one thing. They've got a hell of a lot of woke employees, which probably means there's a hell of a lot of potentially alleged sick employees working for them. Because remember, they're all bent out of shape because of them removing or supposedly removing all their DEI policies from the books. In other words, how many of them employees are probably big fans of children at drag shows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Right? Remember the lady that made the during the video talking very publicly about she was going to stuff as much LGBTQ plus content into everything she could involving Disney? It's wild. And this was Star Wars. I assume this is Galaxy's Edge. So, what, Rise of the Resistance ride or something like that? Somebody was on and he was snapping photos allegedly up the skirt of underage kids? Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, I've got to be honest. I don't know that we should be supporting anything Disney's involved with until somebody comes along and buys the whole bleeping thing. I mean, honestly, at this point. I mean, how do you trust them? And yeah, the DEI policies and all that are, I mean, I guess you could say, well, there's one bad guy there, but if you peel back the curtain, what all would be exposed? Keeping in mind, by the way, remember DeSantis down there in Florida, they had their own, what was it, district? I did several videos on that. And Ron DeSantis was like, "No, we're taking that away from you," because it was giving them all their own perks to basically run essentially their own government inside the state, inside a city, making their own rules. They had their own firefighters, their own police force, all that. Meaning if somebody got in trouble, I mean, depending on who's called, who's involved, what's going to happen to them? Boy, if that doesn't have the makings for a potential scandal to come out at some point, any point, being exposed, I'm just seeing this whole like ring operation happening here. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.